Hey guys, Mark here. Just a little quick video I wanted to make about how to make your own custom canopy for really cheap. So you can see here my canopy. This is on my EXI 450. The original canopy that comes on it is this one, and it's made out of a really thin plastic. So what I did was I bought the spare canopy, or the replacement canopy, for the EXI 450 V2. Or also you can go to the EXI 450 SE page, the standard edition, and the spare canopy you'll find is this one. Now it's made out of a much thicker plastic, and it already comes painted. So if you get yourself some, what I use the Rust-Oleum plastic paint there, and what you can do is you can go ahead and just spray paint right on this. And the reason you want to use the plastic paint is because it's flexible, so that way when the canopy is flexing, the paint doesn't chip off. So, and it really sticks to this really good. So I just figured I'd give you a couple tips on what I did to paint my canopy up. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is just go through and wipe the canopy off, make sure there's no oil or dirt or grease on there. And then what you're going to want to do is, you can see I've got some masking tape, and these are just right here. This is automotive pinstriping here. So then what you're going to want to do is you can tape off the spots that you want to keep white. I tape off my canopy, and I got to go through and put more tape on here, but I just wanted to show you that that's what I was doing. And over here you can see that I've already laid out a bunch of tape, and you're going to be taping up the spots that obviously you don't want to paint. So you can get as creative as you want here. You can see I've just got pinstriped all, crisscrossed across the canopy here. And on this side, I still have yet to do it here. And if you're not familiar with automotive pinstriping here, you can get it in these rolls, and you can see this is the dual pinstripe here. And just the single stuff is fine, but if you've never used this stuff, what you do is you've got a backing here that you peel off of it, and that will allow you to stick the double pinstripe on, whatever you want to stick it on. But there's still one more step that you got to do. So you press it down really nice and firm, but then usually you want to take a little razor blade, and in between the pinstripes there's a clear plastic layer that you're going to pull up and off. See this plastic layer here? And now you have two individual pinstripe lines. So this is actually the same thing you would do if you're going to do it on a car, but just much longer strips. But again, so now when you'd paint this, you'd have two individual lines left over, versus if you don't peel this plastic off, you're just going to have one solid line. But like I said, you can go through and get as creative as you want with putting stripes and lines on there, and then you just go ahead and put a coat of paint on there, let it dry, and you can go ahead and peel the tape off and see what you got left. A few other things: when you're spraying the paint, do a lot of light coats. Don't really cake it on there, because then you'll have the paint dripping off it and having all kinds of runs. And the second thing, always wait for the paint to dry before you pull the pinstripes off. Otherwise you'll probably end up just smearing the paint around, and then it'll end up looking like crap. So you took the time to pinstripe it, just take the time to let the paint dry. Okay, paint's dry, took all the tape off of it. You can see this is what I'm left with. And again, you can go and get pretty in depth with this and get some really cool designs and use multiple colors. But like I said, this is just real quickly to show you basically how I did it there. So hope that helps you. And again, this was the spare canopy from the EXI 450 SE, the standard edition, as well as the new 450 V2. The EXI there. So if you go to their spare parts page, you'll see the spare canopy there, and it's really cheap actually. So pick one up, play around with some paint, and make your own canopy.